Hello and welcome to the second part of the video tutorial on Woodbee. In this video, we're going to use the tool which we have created in the previous part and try to create a toolpath using the tool. And to do that, we're going to connect the drill to the tool of the planar sheet component. And the planar sheet component will produce some operation, and then from those operations, we can create toolpaths. Let's go ahead and bring the other component, which takes an operation and then creates a toolpath, and that's called toolpath simulator. We can simply connect that operation to the operation input, and then when we have an operation here, we can see it on the viewport and run a simulation. So right now, nothing comes out of the operation list, and the reason is that you have to choose what kind of operation you want to create. With the planar sheet component, you're able to provide different type of operation, but they are all categorized in two different categories. Normally, we first start with a rough milling. We use a rough tool in order to remove the material around our parts, so we can use the finer tool in order to go get into those details that we need to mill out of the geometry. In the rough milling, you simply select the raw part, and I'm going to assume that the tool that we have is for rough milling. So let's go back and then change that just diameter to 10 millimeter. They're typically bigger in diameter. And then we can connect that to our simulation component. The last thing we need to provide to our simulator component is would be general settings. This is something that is available under the general setting component here. And we can simply connect that to our simulator. Now that the simulator has all the necessary data, it can generate a simulation for us. We can also see the toolpath in the viewport with different colors that represent different kind of feeds in different part of toolpath. You can open up the simulation and then just click on the play button and see how the tool moves around the objects. We can also speed up the simulation using the control buttons here. Well, you can see the tool is actually moving around the objects, and if I look at it from the top view, it has also compensated for the tool radius. Probably these two objects are very close, so I'm going to just move that and run the simulation again. And you notice that toolpath is automatically updated when I moved an object. One thing we may not want to do at this stage is to go with the rough tool into those tiny details, basically within those dovetails. So what I suggest is to go to the raw part from the rough milling and choose the simplify raw part. And once we do that, depending on the tool diameter, the toolpath is going to ignore some of those details, which are very tiny with respect to the tool diameter. As you may notice, then I just got a very simple toolpath around this part. It looks good. However, on the other parts, I still have those details. So what I want to do is to increase the threshold of this toolpath simplification and see if that helps me to get rid of those details. So by increasing this a little bit, I just got rid of all those details, and I have a very simple toolpath that goes and cuts the material around these parts. Okay, the last thing I want to do here is to um, adjust the actual distance from the tool. Let me see, where is my tool? I just refreshed the simulation. Okay, here, if you look at this tool exactly, you can see there is an offset here from the tool between the tool and the part, and that is the amount of material we'll leave for the next phase, which is the fine cutting. And you can control that here, and it's called a raw part offset, and that's set on in 1 millimeter. You can basically change that based on the strategy that you are going to take for creating your fine milling. So I'll set that to 2 millimeter. So as you can see now, the offset has been changed, and it's now 2 millimeter from the part. So this is our rough cut toolpath, and it's quite simple. Just goes around the objects, ignores the details. And in the next video, we're gonna do define cuts and basically come up with different strategies to mill our objects.